Hi guys, it's David James from Business Growth Digital Marketing, and in this video, I want to talk to you about the website page loading time. It's actually a really important factor in your site's SEO and for the user experience on your website. Now, if your website actually loads too long, then it's most likely that the people will just leave the site without even looking at the content. Having a high bounce rate costs you a lot of money and a lot of your resources actually. So you're actually depreciating your profits, and it's not really worth entertaining if you really want to build a successful business online, and especially if you want to have a very successful SEO campaign. Especially when you're trying to vie for those very top positions, having a slow page loading time can really impact your SEO results. So it's worth paying attention to, and it's really worth getting it right. Now, as a rule of thumb, you should aim to reduce your website's page loading time to under 2 seconds. If you can get it to under 1 second, then that's brilliant. But ideally, 2 seconds as a rule of thumb. 3 seconds is pushing it, but really, you want to be getting your web pages to load in 2 seconds or below. So I'm going to use Pingdom Tools as a way to see one of my website's web pages. It's just a simple blog, and we're going to see what it is, and then I'm going to walk through and see where the issues are and where we can make some improvements. Now, the improvements that can be made on my site, it's something that you can actually do with your site as well. So it looks like the test has come through, and the page loading time is 3.88 seconds. So it's not too bad, but it's still not that great. Now the page size is 1.7 megabytes, so again, it's still quite light, but it's not as light as it can be. So let's go into the nitty-gritty stuff to see actually where the issues are and where we can make some improvements. So the good thing with Pingdom Tools, which is a free tool, is it gives you quite a few insights as to what could be improved, and it actually gives you the sequence. So the first thing we can see is we've got the DNS. So the DNS is the domain name server. We've got the SSL, although I don't have any SSL on this site. Then we've got the sending time, and then how long we're waiting for the response for the website to load. And then actually the site goes and loads. So you can see how long it's taking. So the waiting time is like 1 second. Now, if that can be reduced, then that would be great. But I think that would mainly come from the server side. So it's something I'll probably need to speak to my domain name company about, and also my web hosting company. The reason being is my domain name server and my web hosting company are two different companies. Okay, so let's go down, and we can see that the CSS loads quite quickly. Uh, let's see, content cache, that's not too bad. Okay, I've got a lead box on the site, and that's loading okay. Yeah, the second lead box is okay. So these ones are JavaScript, but then I've got the high jump image. Now the high jump image is a bit big. Now it took 178 seconds to receive it. Now the image isn't that big, but what I can do is I can compress that even more. I could go to a site like compressor.io and compress the image even more, so the image will load a lot quicker. Okay, scrolling down. And from what I can see, it's not too bad. Everything else is loading pretty quickly. Everything's been minimized quite a lot. So even though the complete website, I mean, even though the complete, even though the complete web page is loading in 4 seconds, I can see that the main frame of the site when people land is actually loading in less than 2 seconds, according to this test here. So I'll scroll down even more. I can see another one from lead pages that's being called in, and that's taken a bit longer. and then I've got syndicated ads from AdSense. So that's taken a little bit longer as well, but it's not too bad. Same here. But from what I can see, all in all, it's not looking too bad. So there's some other things that I need to look into. But what I can definitely see is that the web page loading time is loading in the right amount of time. So what I'll do as well, you can go to Google's Page Speed Insights. What I'll do is I'll have a look at the analysis from Page Speed Insights. Now, Google gives you a traffic light system, with red being the lowest, yellow being okay, and green being the highest. So I can see that it's not that great according to what Google is saying, but I would always compare it with what the actual sequence is according to Pingdom Tools. And ultimately, you don't want to negatively affect the user experience of the site, because making the changes based on Google will be great for Google, but if your site doesn't look like how it's supposed to, then people aren't going to like it. So you can see some of the errors and how they can be fixed. It does give you some suggestions. So this one is 61 out of 100. And then this one is 81 out of 100. So it's actually not too bad, to be honest. But if you can get it to, say, 90 to 100, then that's absolutely spot on. But I can see straight away it says to optimize the images. So this is Google content. This is the high jumping main featured image content. So I can compress that even more. And then there's some plugins. So maybe the images from the plugins could be reduced even further. So there's quite a few things you can do. I did notice that when I changed it on one of my other sites, that I was able to reduce the bounce rate significantly, and people were actually engaging with the site a lot more. So it ended up working out to be more beneficial. I ended up getting more conversions in terms of readership and also in terms of newsletter signups. And I also noticed rankings starting to go up as well. So it's definitely something that you should implement as a part of your SEO strategy. Make sure you maximize the page speed and just try to give the best user experience that you can in terms of speed. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you did like the video, hit like. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.